I just think it's funny after, like, earlier this week when you're like, oh, I hate everything new Star Trek. And then you're like, so anyways, Kirsten and I are going to go have these on Paramount Plus for Star Trek. I'm like, okay, well, at one point you're going to have to get a therapist because I'm going to not be able to handle it.
I have come on a mission of gravest consequence. For I am the Watcher, member of an ancient race far older than man. But though our power is great, we are pledged only to watch, never to interfere. But now mankind faces the greatest danger it has ever known. The danger of
the Watchers of Earth. 199,999.
Welcome to the Watchers of Earth 701306. I am your host, Andrew. Joining me as always is my co-host, Seth.
Always. As always.
Our third co-host, Joe, couldn't be here today because he's popping out of a guy's tattoos. And our fourth co-host, Uatu, is here, but is sworn only to watch and never interfere.
So today we watched Elektra. Did you watch the director's cut or the Lux cut?
I watched the normal version that was rentable because the director's cut cost $1 more and I had to actually buy it.
Well, the Lux cut was free as well. So this is a bit because there's a movie called Elektra Lux.
Oh.
Which is life for porn actress Elektra Lux gets turned upside down when she finds out she's pregnant. That's the movie I watched. Also, the tagline is insensitively from adult film star to functioning adult. But anyways, it was rated better than what we actually watched, which is Elektra, which originally premiered on a date that I didn't look up, as always. January 14th, 2005. Written by Mark Steven Johnson. The guy so nice, they named him thrice.
Wait, no, it's written by Zach Penn.
It was Mark Steven Johnson wrote the motion picture characters, idiot. What even is that writing credit? But yeah, you're right. It was written by Zach Penn. And in this film, Andrew, Elektra, the warrior, survives a near-death experience, becomes an assassin for hire, and tries to protect her two latest targets, a single father and his young daughter, from a group of supernatural assassins. So, Andrew, in a sentence or less, what did you think?
This was awful. This was terrible, the worst thing we've watched on this show.
Even worse than Incredible Hulk, huh?
Yes.
Ooh.
Incredible Hulk had moments of like interesting. This was so boring, so long. At 100 minutes, it was so long and slow.
This could have easily been 130 minutes, 90 minutes, if everybody didn't walk in slow motion.
What did you think?
Well, Andrew, I'm glad you asked, because otherwise I wouldn't have said. But I always heard this movie sucked. I had never seen it. And honestly, I've never read Elektra. I like Bill Sankovich's art on it, but I've never read it. And I'm unfamiliar with her, other than her appearance when she fights Daredevil in a playground, which is the only thing I remember from Daredevil. But I've always heard this is a bad movie, and Jay Gar only took it because she was contractually obligated. However, this isn't a bad movie. It is a horribly boring nothing movie.
Yeah, I would say it is a bad movie, though. Like, it is a horribly boring nothing movie, but I think it's also just bad.
But I think of, like... that's the thing, is that it's just bad. Like, I thought this was closer to Catwoman.
Yeah, this isn't funny bad.
This is, like, not worth watching bad.
This kind of falls into similar territory for me with Suicide Squad, where it's not worth watching bad, but I think there's, like, an interesting conversation that you probably don't want to participate in, that I want to have about it, that, like... I don't completely understand how this movie got made. Similarly to, like, with Suicide Squad, it was, like, I don't really understand how this movie came to be like this because it's just so muddied and meddled and cut apart and Frankensteined back together. And I know in the end, the answer is just, like, corporate meddling. But, like, it's so, like, horribly botched that it is astounding that it was released and everything. Like, with this one, I don't understand any of it from like conception to the finished product. It's like a spin-off from Daredevil that has nothing to do with Daredevil. Barely, it doesn't even reference Daredevil outside of like a couple scenes of her death and her wearing the costume from that movie during those flashbacks. It's weird in that, like, this is at a time when Hollywood, which, I mean, honestly could still be today in a lot of markets, when Hollywood still believed that, like, women only watch a certain type of movie, and it's not the same type of movie that men watch, and men only watch a certain type of movie, and it's not the movie that women watch, and it's kind of trying to be both of those types of movies at the same time. And it is like constant horrific reverb throughout the entire runtime. It has like the weird stuff with like, you know, she's got to be a mother figure and she has this adopted daughter thing going on. And there's a whole lot of crap with her. Like she's emotional, not like emotional, but like she has like flashbacks and she's haunted by this and that. But then it's also like trying to be an action movie. And it's so fucking weird. It's not made for anyone. I can't figure out who this movie is made for. I hated it. It is so bad.
It's really long. For coming in at 100 minutes, it's really long. It's, like I said, it's boring. I think it's even boring on paper, going back to what you were saying about how did this get made from conception and all that stuff. Like, I don't know what is exciting about it.
It feels completely disjointed. Every piece of it, like, it feels like it goes in chunks, where, like, at the beginning, it's like Elektra's an assassin, and then it's like Elektra's an assassin who fell in love with her target, and then Elektra's assassin who grows a heart for no reason, and then Elektra, like, then there's, like, supernatural people that she's fighting, and then it turns out that her target is also, like, the chosen one or some bullshit. It's, like, complete nonsense.
Yeah,
And it throws a lot in. Like, it throws in Stick and the training and the hand and coming back to life and supernatural ninjas. It's misogynistic and racist. It is just like a weird, gross movie.
But it doesn't really say anything either. Like, it just doesn't do anything. That was my biggest thing, is that it just doesn't do anything. It's not fun to watch. It's boring to watch. When it's bad, it's like, there was like 2 parts that I thought were like so bad they were good, and they're just so minor, and they're not even that good. It's just like, again, it's I was expecting a Catwoman, and I just got just a.
Did you see Catwoman?
Yeah.
Have you seen this before?
No.
See, I did see this because I guess I don't remember why I saw it.
Probably because you were the
assume
target. You were like, oh my god, this is I love Jagar. I'm a big Alias fan. I like fighting. I'm a big Daredevil fan. This is a spinoff. Daredevil was awesome.
I think that's what it was. It's like when Daredevil came out when I was in middle school, high school, whenever it was that movie came out, like, I remember thinking Daredevil was awesome, and then they did this, which was like a spinoff, and so I thought it was going to be connected and cool, and it's so fucking bad. This is unacceptably bad.
Nothing happens in it.
No.
And when things happen, they're like glossed over and boring and whatever. Let's jump in, because I feel like I'm starting to skate around talking points.
Let's go. Where do you want to start?
Okay, we start off, and she is an assassin, and she's killing people. And a guy is sitting there and talking about how Elektra is the coolest woman in the world.
It is the most boring introduction to a character. Well, actually, it starts off with the opening that says, like, there's a woman.
Oh, yeah, backstory stuff about how Elektra...
I don't think there's ever been a movie that does that isn't like Star Wars with the slow crawl, that isn't, like, horrible.
But, okay, so...
I guess Black Panther
I'm glad you reminded me of this little backstory voiceover. It talks about Elektra as if she is, like, a line of mythological heroes.
But it's not even talking about Elektra. It makes you think it's talking about Elektra because, the twist is it's the girl that she is protecting that's actually the chosen one.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Because the opening illustrations deliberately show Elektra.
Oh, yeah. But I think it's all for a fake out. Because
for as predictable as this movie is, I cannot imagine that was too smart for me.
I think it was a fake out because isn't the whole point is the girl is the chosen one? Because then the typhoid lady, she's like, I used to be the chosen one, but now it's you for some reason, and I'm jealous, and I'm gonna kill ya. Blah. Because apparently, like, there isn't a chosen one, it's like a line of chosen... maybe Elektra was the chosen one,
that's what I was saying.
It
makes it sound like Elektra is part of a line of things, but she's not within the movie. She's never really referred to as the chosen one, but the movie intros her, and intros, like, she shifts the balance in the war between the hand and the foot. But, like, that's just told to us. It has nothing to do with any of the movie.
I mean, it does have... Again, you're right. It doesn't, but it does because that's what the girl is at the end. Like, that's the whole reason the villains are after that girl is because she's the thing from the opening.
Right, but the opening voiceover part could be completely omitted, and that story still makes sense. It's worse because it does intro it as Elektra being the quote-unquote chosen one, lineage kind of hero that shifts balance, but it's just so... disconnected from everything. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong in that they say the word chosen one in the intro list voiceover, and then there is a chosen one in the actual movie. But anyways, yeah, that whole thing sucked. The art was decent, but that whole thing sucked Didn't make any
And it has
sense.
this weird scene with this mobster guy who's just like, I know about Elektra. She's coming for me. The stories are true. She does wear a terrible red costume that's just like a weird, like, brassiere.
Midriff corset.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird.
I will say, there is not a lot of... You might disagree, but I can only think of one shot that was probably hand-wavy either way. But it's not like this is a weirdly sex pervert movie, for as revealing as her costume is.
I agree and disagree. That's where my thing I said earlier, where it's like made for both the male and female audience, or the quote-unquote male and female audience. If we have learned anything with the Marvel movies, is that, not even with the Marvel movies, but just like, there's no such thing. It's stupid to make a
Sweeping
movie like this. Yeah. So anyway, her costume's revealing, and it's filmed kind of like an action thing, but then the rest of the movie for a huge chunk is just like slow, and it's all about her like
change of heart.
And then it's filmed weird where it's like a meet cute, and then it like turns into like a weird rom-com where at the beginning she was an assassin and now it's like a different thing. But then I will admit that it's not in the first shot where she walks in on the guy, it like shows her butt and her,
it's like half
her
butt.
shaking.
Yeah. That was the shot
But,
I was
like,
thinking of. That was like
the shot that I always think of, because I remember the trailer selling it, is when Typhoid kisses her.
yeah, when
and it
two
goes
women
on for
kiss. Oh God, yeah.
Uncomfortably long time.
Love it. I
And
love
I remember
it.
that being all over the trailers.
I like when the women kiss.
But I will agree that like those are really the only bits that are like that, outside of like that are costume shows or midriff and everything. Like,
And honestly, I did not take the typhoid kiss as like a sexy beat.
it's supposed to be for as long as it lasts.
I think that's a fair. I think that's a fair
And
assessment.
I think I am also like, I remember it being in the trailer. It was in every single trailer.
But to me, and maybe I was just so bored that nothing would have roused me from my slumber. But
Can I tell you a secret about this movie?
did you watch this after you were supposed to go to bed and pause it on that scene?
No, I watched this movie on my TV, but with like 10 minutes left to go, my breakfast didn't agree with me, and I had to I had to run to the bathroom, and I finished the last 10 minutes on my phone.
As it should be. As I think
And you know what?
Adam
I think
Driver
I lost
intended.
nothing
I
in
think-
the experience.
I think Adam Driver intended that. Nothing is better than sitting in a poop.
Your own filth.
Your own filth. Nothing is better than sitting in actual shit.
With a cat staring at you because you forgot to close the door.
Watching my hard work on a 3x5 screen. No, the ending's stupid. We'll get to the ending. But apparently...
Just
so,
the ending?
What?
I said just the ending?
We'll get to just the ending after these messages. Apparently, the intro, where she's killing all the security detail, and it's boring, was taken from a comic. So I guess we can't throw that all at Zach Penn. And I will say, I wasn't immediately turned off here.
I thought it was horribly stilted with the guy just sitting there being like,
It was bad
you
dialogue.
ever heard of Elektra? She's an assassin.
And then his like security leader was just like, Assassins is Elektra's an urban legend. It's not a thing. And he's just like, I've been running forever, and I just like learned that she makes me run because she knows she wants me to feel what it's like to not be able to run.
If you see her, you're already dead.
I shouldn't have even hired you. I'm an idiot.
He's got that gun, and when she comes into the room, how many, at least 3 times I think in this movie, somebody like shoots through a door and then sticks their fucking face through the hole they made.
You dead yet?
But when she comes into the room and he's sitting there and he's like got a gun, and then
She throws her sigh.
he tells the story about how she was dead and revived, but then he's like, are you gonna kill me? And she's like, death's not that bad, I would know. And he's like, how would you know? And she's like, I've died before. And he's like, tell me about it. Are there angels? And is there light? Is it lovely? And then he pulls out his gun, and then she's like, I'm gonna stab you through your back. I did like, it's like a stupid kind of like thing when she stabbed the sigh through his back, and
held
it
the
like
gun.
caught his gun with it's like a dumb thing that I was like, that's kind of fun. In a dumber movie, like in a funner dumb movie, that'd be great.
Well, that's kind of where I was at this moment. I didn't hate the movie at this point. I went in expecting it to be fun bad, and it wasn't. But this was in line with what I was expecting, so it's not like I was disappointed. It was stilted, bad dialogue, and stupid cliche crap and dumb stuff. I did like the little Sin City color pop of the red.
I did in theory, but I didn't think it really worked. I thought it all looked bad. And the rest of the movie is like all sepia.
Yeah.
This movie is so yellow.
There's some gross color grading. But I didn't hate this. until soon later.
Like right later when she's like cleaning up her apartment.
Maybe she meets,
and then,
maybe when she meets McCabe, the character that doesn't matter in the film.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, here's your money, minus my 10%. Also, I got you a new job. They're going to pay a bunch of money for it. You want to do it? And she's like, nope. And he's like, okay, well, you want to do it? And she's like, yep. And then he's like, okay, go stay at this house, I guess, and then you're going to kill this guy.
No, she says, go stay at this house. They want you there for like a couple weeks. Who wants this guy dead?
Didn't she say... I thought she said that it was... The Hand, I think, wants him dead. But I think it was... Didn't Stick say that... Didn't she say that Stick hired her?
I see.
Like when she goes
I
with
thought
Stick
so.
with the little girl, and I thought she said something about he hired her, and he's like, yeah, so what? Can't let the evil people get her. But the target is her dad, not her, I thought. I mean, I guess...
It was both.
Is it? It's both.
Because she's like, it's a double. And he's like, double the money.
How about when she's going to kill him? She knows nothing about this guy. No reason. She has no idea why they want him dead. That's relevant later, I guess. But like, she pulls out that bow and she's aiming at him. And I thought, like, how about they need her to just try and kill him and not do it. And it's too awkward to write a reason why she would like sneak in there with her size to stab him and not do it. We need to have her do it at a distance so that they don't know she's going to do it. And she can, like, you know, back off and then change her mind, then back off again without having to, like, I don't know, duck it, like, film crap where she just, like, stands on a thing and, like, pull. But in order to do that, she has to have a long-distance weapon. Most assassins would use a sniper. So instead, she has a bow with a little, like, sniper thing on it because she's a ninja, and a ninja wouldn't use a gun. That would be stupid. So she uses a bow through, I don't know, the window.
Wait, so did Stick told McCabe to give Elektra this job so that she would have a change of heart and befriend them?
I thought he gave her the job so that she would kill the girl because he didn't want the evil people to get her.
I think this was a learning experience. Because at the end when she's talking to Stick and he's like, you're better now, you love life. It did it. And there's all this stuff about like, where she's like, when he kicks her out of the hand, or not the hand,
I mean, if that's the case, why would we just be like, hey, I'm paying you this much money to kill two people. What if instead I pay you this much money or more money to protect these people from the hand?
Yeah, I don't know. But like, it doesn't make sense.
It's so stupid.
I don't know why. Because with you talking like this, it makes it seem like, I mean, if Stick really did give the mission, which I'm looking at a plot synopsis, and it does not include this. It does not say who is given the job. But like, it doesn't make sense, and I hate it. And I hate everything about it. And I hate that it's Christmas.
How about when it was Christmas? Again, that was a part that felt like a rom-com meet-cute thing where it's like, oh, you're living alone in this house? I'm the plucky young girl next door who came by unannounced. And also, my dad wants you over for Christmas dinner as a thank you for not,
I'm trying to set you up with my dad.
It's
I don't
so
understand. Okay, everything in this movie is bad. But
speaking of, before we do that, how about, here's my first put up. The incredibly intense, energetic rock music scene when she is organizing all of her fruits and veggies and toothpaste.
There's a lot of montages in this movie.
There's a billion.
And I hate all of them.
I hate all the flashbacks, the montages, the slow motion, the weird... She has like weird precognitive abilities that don't matter.
Why are they there?
I don't know.
Does she have
they don't do
precognition
anything.
Abilities?
Yeah. They say
no,
something
like
about
in
it
the
and then...
comics. Like, is that a...
Oh, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't really know a lot about her. I thought she was just like a really good assassin.
That's what I thought.
That just keeps coming back to life because the hand does it.
I didn't realize that she was of Greek descent.
I think she's always been.
She's always
like
has
Greek
been,
and...
yes. That is true.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that she was of Greek descent, and I just knew that, like, she had, like, ties to, like, martial arts stuff. And so I was baffled when they used, like, Latin font. Some of the letters were, like, part of the Greek alphabet and stuff like that, which maybe isn't Latin. And I was so baffled at why they chose, especially since it starts off with, like, I mean, I guess it's not stereotypical because it's Stick, but it starts off with that intro voiceover where it's like, here's your Eastern mysticism ninja fight. But all the text or all the opening credits are done in Greek letters. It's just like, I don't understand if you know what theme we're going for here. But I hated all her precognition stuff because it didn't make sense. And again,
it only happens a couple times and I didn't get it. And then at the end when she also like astral projects to tell the guy, hey, come fight me, where it all began. He's like, yes, where it all began.
Wait, does she astral project?
So I wasn't sure what was happening during that scene because I'm going to tell you about halfway
I know you were
through.
pooping.
I kept tuning in and out. No, this was before I pooped.
This was when the movie pooped.
I just saw it on the Wikipedia page where it says she astrally projects herself to a meeting with Karigi and challenges him to a fight.
Okay, so she has an assassin's instinct. Nick Fury can attest to the usage of this eerie mind control in person. In the 90s, he conducted scientific experiments on the captured assassin and found strange morphology in her brain that explained her phenomenal reflexes yet sane rationale. I like how you can't have phenomenal resources unless you're insane. Elektra moves with heightened primal instincts, but the more evolved parts of her brain remain intact, preserving her intelligence. In other words, she thinks like a woman and strikes like a cobra. Someone got paid too much to write that. You know that was a line. That's not somebody on like Marvel.fandom like coming up with that. Is a workshop line that was on the cover of that was like not a pull
cover
quote.
blurb.
Yeah, like a cover blurb. She can mind switch. She can throw her mind into those of others. I mean, wow, I didn't know any of this.
I literally just thought she was a martial artist.
She can communicate telepathically with individuals. She does have precognition.
Huh. Okay.
She has a mind shield. And she has a silent scream, like Shang-Chi.
A silent scream.
Yeah, a high-powered, chi-based scream originally used by Shang-Chi. By focusing on her chi and puckering her lips together, Elektra can use this technique to perform high-pitched scream that can render a person permanently deaf, and or, by focusing on one target, can kill. You know what they say? She thinks like a woman and strikes like a cobra. This movie sucks.
How about all the flashbacks to the devil killing her mom, and then a ninja killing her mom, and then at the end, Kurigi's like, now you will learn everything, while they're fighting, and then it just flashes back again, and it's the devil turns into a ninja, then turns into him without a mask on, and then he's like, I'm going out the window, bye! And then she's like, now I can finally fight you, because revenge!
This is a terrible story. This is so bad. Okay, I want to go on a rant about the meet cute.
Go for it.
So, she meets the guy whose name doesn't exist, and the girl whose name is Abby.
What do you mean doesn't exist? His name is Mark Miller.
Oh yeah, Mark Millar. Do you think...
That was the only name other than Elektra that I remembered, and Stick, who I already knew, because I was... Oh, and Master Roshi, because I was like, hey, it's Dragon Ball.
Oh, is this
But-
a tie-up? What Marvel Cinematic Universe is Dragon Ball Evolution in?
Do you think the Mark Miller thing was a little, like, fun Easter egg, or do you think that was Mark Miller being like, hey...
Did Mark Miller
name a
do
character after me.
Elektra?
Let me make out with.
Because I was wondering that too.
Because Frank Miller did, but I was thinking that too, and I was like, it can't be a coincidence. Mark Miller is a well-known comic book writer. He had to have done Elektra or Daredevil or something.
But because I was thinking that when they said Mark Miller, I was like, and isn't it technically Mark Millar?
I don't know. We've always said Mark Millar,
But it is
because it's spelled with an
Millar.
AR. Yeah.
Whereas the name in the
I don't
movie
know how
is
it's actually pronounced.
the name in the movie is Miller.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Maybe it's a thing with like maybe it's half nod to Frank Miller, half nod to Mark Millar.
Ben Affleck reprised his role as Matt Murdock Daredevil in a cameo, but it was cut from the final film.
Yes, because Daredevil sucked.
Yes, and this needed to stand on its own two legs.
Well, this is the same reason why when they, because I was reading this when they were marketing it, they watched they're like, just like the X-Men movie, not the Daredevil one that you hated.
I was thinking it felt very X-Men-y, especially because I think Tattoo is a mutant. I don't know who the rest of these are. Yep, he is a mutant.
How about I am Elektra
Tattoo.
Nachios? Not even the stars are safe in the sky. Her Daredevil costume's sweet. I know that has nothing to do with this movie, but
You mean her current one where she's Daredevil?
yeah,
I like
she has
it.
like
I
the
also,
scarf and like the.
I was gonna say, at 2 points in this movie, she wears a scarf very briefly, and I was like, I love a scarf. Because she had one of her modern costumes is like dark gray or black with like a red scarf, and I like that a lot better than her red spandex thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think her Daredevil costume is very good.
But anyways, so the meet cute. This whole thing sucks. Because it has the stupid thing where Abby comes up and she's like, my dad wants you to come to Christmas dinner. And then everyone in the movie theater went, wait, it's Christmas?
It's not even like they're in like Maine or something.
It is really
Or, like, fucking
foggy.
Portland.
It looks really gray. It does not look like they're in like a temperate, like tropical climate.
They're not in like California or somewhere where it's not gonna be snowing. They're like definitely like
It should be
later
snowing
on when
if it's
they're,
Christmas.
like, running through the woods, it is like straight up like this is Forks in Twilight.
It is in the Northern Hemisphere for sure. Hey, did you know? I mean, these Marvel fandoms are the best. Did you know this was the last appearance chronologically of Earth 701306?
I did not, but now I do.
I was trying to see if it said where they sent her. This plot sucks. It doesn't say anything. She moves to the area, an insular one, abiding in a big residence. So anyways, Abby does the rom-com thing where she says, my single available dad wants you to come for Christmas. And then then Abby is like, hey dad, I'm here. And he's like, stop leaving. She's like, maybe you'd be kinder if you saw our guest. And then Jagar comes in and she's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be here. And then everyone's like, ooh, I'm a single father. You ain't got no man. This is how it's gonna go. Then they have Christmas, I guess? We don't really see Christmas.
We don't really see Christmas. In fact, they sit at dinner in like a dark room with maybe like one candle.
I mean, there is a
off
Christmas
in the
tree,
distance.
and there are Christmas lights.
Oh, are there?
Yes.
I didn't see any.
But they don't we don't even really see them eat. He's just like, yeah, join us for dinner, I guess.
And then they sit at the table and they talk about a whole bunch of nonsense. And then
Abby
Electra's
talks about
like,
how
hey.
she beats kids up at school.
And then Electra's like, look at your little bracelet. You know what that is? It's the warrior beads. They're given to the strongest warrior.
The ultimate warrior, I think.
Hold on to that information for later.
You're gonna want that. And then she's leaving, and then Rico Suave, Mark Millar, is like, you want some wine? She's like, no. And he's like, for the love of God, drink this damn wine. I am lonely. And then she leaves. Or no, he kisses her, and he's like, sorry. And she goes, you should be, I hated it. And then leaves. And somehow, at the end of this movie, they don't end up together.
I mean, yeah, they have another kiss, and then she says sorry, and he's like, you're right, I hated it. And then she just, like, leaves, and then Stick is like, hey, you done good.
Hey, the movie's over.
Bye.
Bye. I was surprised they didn't even, I mean, maybe this is just a modern movie-making sensibility and what the Marvel movies have conditioned me for, but I was surprised there wasn't some, ending shocker. Hey, now I'm here, and I'll be the villain in the next movie if it exists. But it just, it ends like it acts like it resolved everything.
I mean, it did. We learned about her mother's death that didn't matter, and how
she overcame
got
her
revenge
obstacles.
for her mother's death. She overcame her fear and anger.
She's still single, and Mark Millar is upset.
She's single and ready to mingle when Daredevil Thringle happens.
But I was just like, this movie is so predictable. Except for the fact that she did not end up with Mark Millar. Mark Miller, sorry. Because even at the end, they're both watching Abby on the bed. Also, they're in this derelict house that no one's lived in for 40 years, and she turns on the bedside light. Someone's still paying the electricity on it.
So she's hired to assassinate him, and then she doesn't, and then she says, hey, I'm not going to do it. And he's like, well, okay, well, they're going to send the hand. And she's like, all right, bye. But then she comes back, and she's like, I'm going to stop the hand for some reason, because I don't know. And then she's like, hey, talk to me inside, and it's pouring rain. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to go inside and then wait 20 minutes for you to
murder a guy.
Slowly stab this ninja that's not paying any attention. And then it does that awkward slow motion where she's like, whoa, and she shoves the side up.
I was so
and
surprised
then,
there wasn't a lightning
green
bolt.
smoke.
There wasn't an ice cream bolt. A lightning bolt.
What?
I thought when she stabbed him through the roof, there would be a lightning bolt surrounding her because they slowed it down so much, and it was like it's storming. That's what you do in a movie like this. But Elektra's a terrible assassin. These hand ninjas are terrible ninjas.
After this, nobody just dies. Everybody turns into a puff of smoke.
Well, because they're mythical ninjas.
Magic.
They're Goemon.
But also to be fair, a tiny bit in the movie's credit, I guess it makes a little more sense when you learn why they're trying to kill them. But when they had sent these ninjas to kill this guy, and I was like, why are these ninjas secretly crawling on the roof? They're fucking ninjas. Just going. It's just some middle-aged dad and his daughter just run in and stab him. But they're sneaking in the bushes, and one's crawling slowly on the roof, getting ready to jump down and get him when he's not paying attention. And I'm like, really?
They're stupid.
You guys are the hand.
Yeah, break
This
into
is
the home.
stupid. But then at the end, they probably have more information, and you do learn that the girl probably could have killed them all because she's a crazy good mystical fighter person because she's the one.
But is she that good? She's chosen. And
I
she
don't
has
know,
some
but it
ability.
was something after I learned that, I was like, I guess that's why the ninjas would do that. And I don't think any of the writers thought that. They just thought it would be a better scene to have Elektra show up and be like, there's ninjas around and they're sneaking.
But she doesn't
I
really
gotta get
do
'em
that
before they get him. Oh, she doesn't. I'm just saying, that's, I think, the thought process.
Because that's
for why that scene
That was my problem, where she shows up. She knows that, the hand is after them now. But, she talks to Mark Miller and says, go inside, I'll meet you inside, honey buns. And then murders the assassin, or the ninjas. But why not murder the ninjas first? Why even talk to Mark Miller? And then kill ninjas? Because for all she knows, she knows ninjas are out there, right?
I thought it was at least going to be one of those quote unquote fun scenes where she's trying to talk to them and distract them while she's killing ninjas without them noticing.
Yeah.
When she stabs that one awkwardly, I was like, okay, they're going to start crawling into the building and she's going to be throwing sides or knocking over.
And they'll be like, what was that? And she's like, nothing.
Accidentally blowing out a candle so that it's dark or something. I thought that kind of stuff was going to happen, but then no, she just kills that one on the roof, and then... Are there only 2 ninjas?
I think there are only 2 ninjas.
And then she goes inside, and then the ninja, bursts in or something, and then she's just time to karate fight. It sucks.
It does suck. It really does, Andrew.
Thank you. I was worried we were going to sit down and you were going to love it.
No, this movie blew. This was the worst movie I've seen And scene. I was gonna make a bit on Incredible Hulk, but here I am. Ugh.
I mean, and then they just kind of bounce around places. Like, then she takes them, and she's like, "Why would they want to kill you?" And he's like, "I don't know."
They go to McCabe.
Do they do that first?
They go to McCabe because Elektra shows up, and McCabe's like, "Boy, why are you here?"
And then he's like, "I'll die to defend you, Elektra."
I hate McCabe because he doesn't do anything in this movie, and he doesn't matter in this movie. And, like, he has a death scene, but nobody cares because he doesn't do anything in this movie. Like, Elektra could have gone to this
And it knows nobody cares that he dies because it immediately, as soon as his head gets cut off, it immediately cuts away, and then we never worry about it.
Elektra doesn't, like, look back on McCabe or think about McCabe ever again. Nobody's like, that guy gave his life for us. That was pretty cool. Everyone's just like, anyways.
He's like, you may as well kill me. I'll never tell you anything. And the guy's like, doesn't matter. I got psychic powers for some reason.
Yeah, why can he, like...
Anyway, chop your head off.
Yeah, why can he... So, McCabe tells them to go through a storm cellar and run out into the woods. Mr. Badman, whose power is to control bed sheets, also has the power...
But wait, it's before all this, though, that they go and find Stick, right?
No, they find Stick in the bar.
Because when they find Stick, they don't know that she's an assassin, even though she just killed a bunch of people, because they're all thick as shit. Because Stick tells them, and she does not yet know what their deal is. She has no idea why.
You are right. They're meet
trying
Stick
to be
first.
Because Stick says something, because she's like, he doesn't know why they're after them. And then he's like, never mind. Wait, I lied. I do know. And then she's like, what? And then Stick's like, they asked him for something he couldn't give them.
So, okay, here's a question about so we don't understand Elektra's mission to kill these people. It's because Stick doesn't want the bad guys to get them.
I think so.
But then again, the bad guys' plan is also to kill them.
And then Stick is like, I'm not going to help you. But then later on we learn that, like, he put this all into motion.
But two of the hand try to kill the girl. Why? Why would they try?
I mean, maybe they
kill the girl. At least
do they actually try and kill her?
Typhoid tries to kill her. But granted,
Typhoid does.
That is a personal vendetta because she is like,
yeah, she specifically says that she's like, don't tell anyone.
But then Tattoo tries to kill her.
Try to kill you.
Tattoo tries to kill her because he covers her with snakes.
I don't know if he's trying to kill her so much as subdue her. Like, I mean, you could be right, and in the end, like, he could just be like, I'm going to cover you in snakes so you can't get away.
Fair, but like, why aren't they? Are they not working at a team because they're bad guys? And that's.
They all have their own individual thing. So there's like 5 ninjas. There's Kirigi, who's like the main guy. Typhoid,
Tattoo, Stone, and Kinko.
So Kinko is the one that fights them when we learn that Abby can actually like fight back. But he's the only one that doesn't appear to have any powers. He
moves with great
martial artist. Okay, I don't remember actually seeing that.
I have no idea who Kinko is, and his name is not hyperlinked.
It's after she kills. Oh, she doesn't. How about when Stone dies? He like breaks the tree that Elektra's on, and she runs up it, and then he like goes after Abby, and then the tree that he just broke falls on top of him, and then Elektra reacts like, I got it. I did it. I made the tree land on him. But she didn't. He just wasn't paying attention to where it was going to fall,
Stone got shot point blank with a shotgun, and then was destroyed by a tree.
He was shot point blank with a shotgun and stabbed, but apparently if you bonk him on the head like a Goomba, he just up and dies.
The hand is Kirigi and Kinko. Kinko killed her parents. They couldn't be because...
No, Kirigi killed her parents. Kinko is literally just this one guy, if I'm assuming because he's the one guy who couldn't figure out who he was. After Stone dies and Elektra's running after Abby, and Abby gets caught by Tattoo, and the wolves show up, and that's when she like pulls out her little like whip thing, her bracelet thing, and turns it into a whip and starts flailing it around. Kinko shows up, and he's a guy who you never really get a good clear look at him, and he just like kicks a whole bunch. He just does a whole bunch of flippies and kickies. But I don't think he ever uses anything similar to superpower. Also, speaking of Tattoo and his tattoos in this scene, all of his tattoos are like, I make an animal or multiple animals appear. But the wolves, he's like, I make magic wolves because it costs way too much to animate a wolf running around or to hire a wolf for a scene to run. So instead, it's just like a flash of light with a CGI wolf face flying around.
I think Tattoo's sweet.
I think Tattoo's powers
and it's like a really cool visual when the little eyeball is moving on his tattoo.
I thought that was a horrible visual.
No, I like that. That's cool.
It looked really, really bad.
I mean, it looks bad, but it's a cool idea.
I think all of it's cool. I think even like he only does it once, but when his tattoo is actually like graffiti and then it flies off, I was like, that's cool. And I would like a movie where like, I don't know what movie it would be that he would be worth being the main villain, but like I think he's a cool enough character to have him like really utilize those powers. And this movie doesn't. Like
they should have made a spin-off like, on Tattoo.
He makes like what, 3 different animals? A wolf, an eagle,
snakes,
or a falcon and a snake. That's it?
Yep.
But it'd be cool to see more, or like have him utilize his powers. I thought his powers were neat.
Yeah.
But like, again, I don't know. It's just a weird, and like during these action bits, I will say like that's again where it feels more like a superhero-y, like X-Men-y action movie. It's not good, but like I can see like, if this is what the whole movie was, it might be like fun bad.
I think the action bits are boring.
I agree, but I think they're more interesting than everything else. I think this movie honestly becomes so bad because it is like so much of just like random flashbacks, random panic scenes, random OCD scenes, the weird meet
Bad
cute,
dialogue,
rom-com crap. Every line of dialogue is horrible. There's not a single good line spoken by anybody ever. And then again, where I was saying like it feels weird because like chunks of it, all the weird chunks in the early part and towards the middle, like the first like third, feel like it's like they're like women are gonna watch this movie and they want to watch her fall in love, and they want to watch her like they don't want to watch her fight. They want to watch her panic about not liking to fight all the time. She's got a troubled past.
Just broke.
What's
My
that?
headphones like literally just broke.
How?
The like headphone, the circle part just like snapped. So now I can only listen to you through my right ear.
I'm sorry.
You should be. You're gonna hate editing that.
Can't wait.
How did my thing just break?
You're too strong.
This is so obnoxious. I have another pair of headphones, and I plugged them in, but, like, I guess my computer doesn't care? Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go! Ow! Ow! This is so loud. Say something. Speaking of which, Elektra, where were we? Which bad part of the movie were we at? Oh, we were trying to figure out what everybody did. I liked Tattoo.
I like Tattoo, too.
He's like a dumb tattoo man. No, he's like a dumb, badass teenage character. Like, when I was like 13 and I saw this, I'd be like, this is super cool. He's got tattoos that turn into things. I can almost guarantee I have made a character like that when I was like 13. But it's an interesting power set, and it's an interesting visual power set. Even if it doesn't make any sense because he can make his tattoo like turn into graffiti art.
Yeah.
But anyways. Typhoid is neat, but she doesn't make any sense.
Typhoid is weird, especially because she is like the male gaziest thing of the entire movie. Like you said, Elektra's got her midriff when she's wearing her costume at the beginning and end of the movie.
Can I send you this?
Typhoid shows up and her boobs are like popping out.
Yeah.
And it is bizarre.
Hey, I'm going to send you this.
Yeah. I like that giggle you did.
This is a picture of Tattoo. How about his dumb tattoos?
How about his dumb tattoo? Why does he have so many arms?
Because he's got tattoos of arms, I guess. How about his dragon tattoo?
How about all of his like weird tattoos? How about the artist is just like, I do not want to draw these fucking Okay, the dragon is great. The knife is great. Whatever is underneath the dragon is great. But the best is that snake that's just like...
How about he's got fucking Trogdor tattooed on his back?
That's pretty great.
Oh, boy. So Typhoid is the worst because she could easily kill Elektra in that moment.
She could easily kill everybody, and her powers are weird.
When she sexually kisses Elektra, she could kill her.
She should.
I don't know why she doesn't.
She blows twice on Abby, and Abby basically dies until Elektra's like, I learned the magic ninja hand things that brought me back to life somehow. Wow! It means I'm good now. I'm absolved of my sins. But, like, she, like, full-on makes out with Elektra for, like, 45 seconds. And Elektra is fine.
Well, Karigi is just like, you're lucky you'll live another day. We'll meet again. They're just like, just fucking kill him. How about one of Elektra's aliases? Like, Jagar is Ninja Skank. I'm looking at... I just kind of switched over to this fandom.
You switched over? You joined this fandom.
I'm in this now. I'm in it.
I'm in the Ninja Skank fandom.
Hashtag Ninja Skank is the only skank. Hashtag mind of a ninja skank, fist of a viper. But yeah, and then at the end, again, I don't think Typhoid should kill Abby. But she easily could have, and I don't know why she didn't.
Again, I think she did. I think she basically more or less killed Abby, but she didn't know that Elektra knew the magic hand pressing technique
Deus
to bring
Ex
someone back to life.
Monos.
And the fight with Karigi's dumb.
Because she just fights
like
bed sheets.
There's bed sheets everywhere, and then Karigi like jumps into 3 of them and just like flies forward with them all in his face, and I was like, this is so stupid.
It is so dumb.
But then he like slices them off of himself, he's like, I'm a badass. It's so dumb.
Stone is kind of cool, but he's generic. But so like, these are somewhat interesting villains. The problem is that no one is given more than like 10 minutes. We complain about 30-minute fight scenes, but like, nobody fights any of these people.
The one who gets the most is Tattoo, and that's because we get multiple scenes of him using his tattoo for like recon.
But he doesn't really fight. Like,
no, at the end, he literally is just standing
And
there
then Elektra
comatose with
shows
a
up
million
and
snakes
kills
everywhere,
him.
and Elektra just like snaps his neck, and she's like, "All right, we're done
wait,
now."
who's the guy? Oh, no, remember the first hand ninja? Well, the second hand ninja, because Elektra kills the first through the roof. But remember when she's trying to interrogate the second hand ninja, and he has the...
Snaps his own neck?
his own neck!
The best death, though, is when Typhoid is walking away from Abby, and Elektra just like tosses her sai through the entire hedge mage, and it just like hits her in the head.
I saw
and she
that
falls
same
over.
death scene in a little movie called Freddy vs. Jason, and it's awesome.
Mm.
Where Jason throws like a flaming machete at a guy. But yeah, how about Elektra just... it's stupid. But that's like more of the fun stuff that I wanted from the movie and expected from the movie. But a lot of these fight
How did
scenes
she
are
end
boring.
up killing Karigi? Oh, she remembers that Karigi killed her mommy, and then she's just like, now I have the power to stab ya. Wow.
Wow! I'm gonna use my power to stab you. How did Elektra... So, instead of dropping on Stone and putting her size through his brain, she just like falls down behind him and stabs him in the back. But then he's Stone, so her size break. But then in the next scene, they're just fine. Or she has a bunch, but nobody cares.
I couldn't remember if she ever got her second one. Oh, she does, because when she fights Karigi, she has two. I mean, maybe she has an extra? I couldn't tell. Whenever she opened her little arsenal thing, I couldn't tell what was in there, so maybe she had more than one, or more than two.
I mean, she would have had to, but it was just like a weird thing where why break her size if the movie's not going to acknowledge it?
How about the scene, just jumping around, I guess. How about the scene when Abby's like, teach me to use your size? And she's like, no, these are killing weapon. And she's like, you want to learn something real cool? Sit on the floor with me, and then I'm going to wait till it's real quiet and go boo.
That was so
and then we're
dumb.
going to laugh.
I hated that.
We're going to laugh, and your dad's going to walk in the room and lean
And
against
be like,
the
man, she's
the
gonna
door
she's
frame
gonna be
and be
the
like,
mother
"Ugh."
of my child.
What a fucking stupid scene.
Right, though? Right?
Is there anything else? What else is there? This movie sucked.
Does Abby train the stick?
Wait, yes. Stick confirms that Abby is the treasure, a martial arts prodigy whom the hand seeks to use. Elektra learns that she was a treasure herself, resulting in her mother becoming a casualty of the fight between the chaste and the hand. She also guesses that Stick set up the hit on Mark and Abby in order to test Elektra's propensity for compassion.
Bullshit.
What the fuck?
What? I mean, Stick would have had
Absolute
egg on his
nonsense.
face if she just murdered them.
Well, yeah. What if she was just like, here I go, boom, heartless assassin? What would he do? I mean, I guess he'd be like, well, the treasure's gone, so I don't have to worry about evil getting it.
I hated how Elektra has the power to heal, bring people back from the dead.
No, it's like poetry, it rhymes. It happened in the beginning.
I hate it.
Remember the flashback?
No, but I hated
when
it.
she's wearing the black corset.
I wish a cat would have burped on Abby.
A ninja burped in her mouth and she came back
turned
to
into a
life.
ninja.
What a stupid fucking movie. All right, anything else?
You know what? I really don't think so. How about powers and
She
abilities?
doesn't even suit a single electrical current through the entire movie. It's not comic accurate at all.
No, but she was named after the person
From
a
mythology.
myth. So I'm looking up. I'm looking up Abigail Miller's powers and abilities, and under physical strength, it just says Abby possesses the average strength for a girl of 15. Is that a power and an ability? Does every Marvel.fandom.com character
they're saying
entry?
that is up to date. I mean, in 2005 she had that strength, and now in
She still has that
2022 she still has the strength.
I was
of a
actually thinking,
16
was she 13? And she has her power is that she has the average strength for a girl of 15. She's 2 years stronger than she should be.
2 years strong. You're 2 years too early.
I mean, Marvel any.fandom.com site is bonkers. Physical characteristics, unusual features, wore a dark brown wig for a while.
How about when she dyes her hair because they're like, I got to change my look, but my dad's not going to do anything to change how he looks, and I just
And
look
she doesn't
like an
even
average
do
teen.
any, like, that's like one scene.
She goes from blonde to brown hair, and then it's just so that Elektra can have a flashback. She's like, she looks like me when I was 4.
But after that, she doesn't wear
Except
that wig.
she's 16. Doesn't she? She has it for the rest of the movie.
I didn't think so. I thought she looked the same.
I thought she did. I mean, I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. Maybe we're both wrong. Maybe she doesn't have hair. I wish we would have watched Elektra Lux. Elektra Lux got a better rating than this. Also, speaking of, I assume you did as well, because this was like the only place, but Prime Video is where I rented it. This sucker's got 4.5 out of 5 stars.
No way.
I don't get it. And
They got to be ironic.
unfortunately, the people that we side with, the 1-star people, here's what they have to say. This is whose side we're on. M. Hutchinson, 1 star out of 5. Yet another movie about a woman who is so tough and so in charge. We all liked Ripley. We loved Alice. And Sarah Connor was no slouch. But can we please stop pretending that women run around like alpha males fighting crime and beating large violent men in hand-to-hand combat? At least have the decency to hire Ronda Rousey to do it. She is believable, would probably limit the BS, and could only do 1 or 2 a year, which would be about the right ratio for tough girls for tough guys. Fuck you, dude.
I hate it.
Surprisingly good as Elektra battles differences between her mind and body.
It received negative reviews from critics who found the script and storyline lacking, but many praised Garner's performance. I thought Garner was horrible, but that's not only on her. I think everybody in this movie was horrible. There's not a single good actor in this movie.
I think Garner was serviceable. I think it's more on the writing.
I mean, I guess that's true. She's just, like, bland.
I mean, everybody is.
I mean, everybody is. But yeah, she just kind of like stands around a bunch.
Like, I don't think her acting was bad. I think the movie was bad. Like, she didn't take me out of the movie by...
I don't know. She flips her size around a lot, and I couldn't tell if it was CGI. It was hidden fairly well, or I was like, did she really learn how to like spin those around? I don't know how difficult that may or may not be, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was impressive if it was real.
Anyway. Seth, give me 2 put-ups and a put-down.
Well, unlike Ekbart Vanderklunk, who said this was a very entertaining movie and that it has lots of cool Japanese taiko drumming, which I guess is all you need for a 5-star, very entertaining movie. My first put-up is going to be Tattoo does nothing in the fucking movie, and his powers don't make any goddamn sense.
Goddamn
sense. Samson Gens. But I don't know. I was going to tell you the other day, I read something where someone was like, this is badass. And I was going to text you and say, have you ever used badass in like a non-irony, like satirical way?
I don't think so.
Right? Like,
at least not since maybe
like I am just not a person that sits there and is just like, man, this is badass. Like, that sounds so stupid. No offense to anybody, Zach. But I don't know. Tattoo's kind of badass. But I say that in the correct way because it's like teen badass. But his little Trogdor tattoo is fun, and
that's not in this movie though.
That's in the canon of it's my head canon. I like his little eyeball moving on his chest. Anyways, my second put up is going to be, I will say, I liked when Elektra threw her scythe through a hedge maze and Typhoid was just standing there and then was murdered. My put down is going to be Mark Miller. I hate him. I know you can't just have, like, an orphaned girl. Also, I thought it was weird that, I mean, you can say a bunch of stuff, but I thought it was weird that at the beginning, it was like, Elektra, a daughter without a mother. And then the first thing we learn is that, like, here's her mother dying. And, like, I understand that, like, yes, that is still a daughter without a mother. And, like, I know it's not some weird male version of, like, Mother Mary. But it was just kind of like a weird thing where I felt like it went against that by having her, like, remember her mother. I don't know. It was a weird thing. But is that my put down? Did I say something else? Oh, Mark Miller. I hated him. He didn't do anything. He didn't even sex up Elektra, like the movie wanted us to believe. He was just like a guy. No, McCabe was way worse. McCabe and Mark Miller were just like guys.
McCabe is
way worse.
I'm surprised you even knew his name.
I don't know why I remembered McCabe.
The only reason I knew his name when you knew who he was when you said it is because there was no one else he could have been.
I don't know why I remembered McCabe more than Mark Millar, but I hated McCabe.
He is a nothing character that I forgot existed until you said his name. My first put up is the like crazy, intense, hardcore, aggressive music while she aggressively like organizes her toothbrushes and toothpaste and all of her fruit. And they try and make it look like really badass. And it's so stupid.
OCD is badass.
And the OCD doesn't matter. Like, it goes on forever, and then Abby points it out, and she's like, I don't have OCD. And she's like, yeah, you do. You've been counting.
And then they're just like,
you count your steps
and
or whatever.
scene.
And done.
Is that one of her powers and abilities in the comics?
Maybe she does have OCD. I have no idea. My second put up is going to be, I kind of want to say tattoo as well, but just to keep things different from you, not that I have to, but just because I do have another put up, it's when the ninja snaps his own neck. It's like so
dumb.
It's a tie for tattoo is, like you said, he's like that like appropriate use of the term badass. And then also Typhoid's death is funnier, but that ninja just like snapping his own neck and then disappearing into a puff of smoke.
It's more of what I wanted and what I thought the movie would be.
If the movie was all that kind of stuff, like honestly, the action stuff is bad enough to fuel a like good bad movie. It's because so much of the movie is nothing with bad dialogue and just slow scenes. But like the action isn't horrible. It's not
watchable.
Good, but it's just like bad enough to be kind of fun. Like the tree falling on Stone's head, the flying through the fucking drapes or the sheets everywhere. Typhoid's weird, like, slow down thing when she kisses Garner and it, like, the camera, like, tilts because it's made by a filmmaker. Filmmakers tilt cameras. And when she's, like, walking and all the, like, flowers are dying around her, I was like, this is all, like, stupid good. Like, if this was the whole movie...
It's just so boring.
I think I'd walk out of it and be like, this is, like, stupid fun. As opposed to just, like, it's so boring and so long and so dumb. And that's what my put down is. It's just like, it's so much of a mess of a movie. I can't figure out who it's for. I can't figure out, like, what it's trying to do, what its point is, what they thought they were going to... Like you said, they scrubbed Daredevil from it because Daredevil underperformed. I don't know
if that's the reason.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, like, I assume this movie was probably decided upon before Daredevil premiered and underperformed.
I mean, it would have had to have been.
Because I can't figure out why this would be the movie that they throw out there to salvage it.
When did Daredevil come out? Like 2002?
2003.
Yeah, I don't know.
So 2 years.
I think they knew.
I just can't figure out, like, what got this movie made? Who sat down and said, like, Daredevil didn't do well, so let's do Elektra. Or Daredevil did well, let's do Elektra. But then, like, make, like, this completely different type of movie that is, like I said, it's got bits of rom-com in it. It's got bits of, like, quote-unquote drama. It's got, like, weird action. Like you said, it leans into, like, the X-Men stuff because the X-Men stuff was popular that Fox was also making.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this was the last female-led Marvel movie until Captain Marvel. And that's a long time.
And in the way that Hollywood looks at one thing and then decides that that's the problem, not everything else, I can see why this would kill off female-led movies for a while. It's not good. But the problem has nothing to do with that it's a female-led movie. I think it has to do with the fact that they wrote it thinking, like, we got to put in this stuff for the ladies and this stuff for the men. I think that's a huge problem with it. But, like, the problem isn't Elektra. I think Elektra could easily carry a movie.
And I guess maybe there was, like, an R-rated draft at some point, I think I read. But I guess and this is coming from someone who has never read Elektra. Maybe it was a Daredevil thing where they said, people already know who she is. Daredevil was terrible, but, you know, some people like it. Jagar is contractually obligated to do it. Because, I mean, I feel like there's a lot better female women heroes. Like, I mean, is Elektra even, like, that popular? You know, was she in the Netflix show?
Yes.
And, I mean, I guess she's popular in Daredevil, like, which I don't really read Daredevil, or never really did. But, I don't know, I guess out of all the women heroes in Marvel, I feel like I would choose someone else. But I guess if you have her on contract, might as well use her. So, I found these little 4 questions that people had about the movie. One, I said, when Elektra goes back to her old house, she uses the gas stove to blow up the bad guys. She also turns on the bedside lamp. Is someone really paying the electric and gas bills after all these years? I'm assuming she didn't call Con Ed to re-up right before she went to the house to fight. Answer. Elektra's father was a wealthy shipping magnate and could afford to maintain the electric and gas bills for a house that the family hadn't visited in years. Question. What was Abby's power? Answer. She was a gifted prodigy of martial arts. This is how I found this. Question. Why does Elektra/did Elektra have OCD? I mean, how did that contribute to the story? Also, does Abby have OCD as well? From the scene near the beginning where Elektra asked Abby if she was counting. Answer. They both have OCD because people with OCD are more likely to be a prodigy. Mozart most likely had it. Question. So Stick, quote-unquote, hired Elektra to, quote-unquote, kill the treasure and her father as a test. Did he just assume that Elektra wouldn't kill them? Stick's not psychic. Answer. He did assume that she wouldn't kill them. It was a test that she passed. These people are crazy.
Whatever. This is a stupid movie. Seth, where did you put this in your total rankings of every movie
I put this above The Incredible Hulk, my favorite movie. Was that good of a bit?
It was funny, but it's also funny because every time I had The Incredible Hulk at the bottom of my list, and you were just like, nope, this movie is even worse than Incredible Hulk, and you were dead wrong. This time, you put it above Incredible Hulk. This is at the bottom of my list. This is the 2 movies that I have put below Incredible Hulk, you have both put above
This could probably be below Incredible Hulk, honestly. Like, I was looking at it, and I thought, okay, so there's Swamp Thing and then Incredible Hulk. And I was like, this is worse than Swamp Thing, because at least Swamp Thing is, like, it's boring, but it's, like, campy, and it, like, wasn't as boring for as long as Elektra was for me. And, like... I mean, the important thing is that I'm not going to watch Swamp Thing or The Incredible Hulk again, ever. And so, like, Elektra just being up there as a movie that just, like, nobody ever needs to watch because it's boring and it doesn't do anything. I'm just like, eh.
So, I had this at the very bottom of my list. I actually moved it up above Swamp Thing just because I think like I said, the fight scenes aren't,
They're so boring.
like, they are, but they're like, there's interesting stuff in the movie, whereas I think Swamp Thing is just like so slow and so long and so boring, and there's nothing to get out of it, that I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think Elektra goes above it. Honestly, I would probably watch Elektra again over The Incredible Hulk, because it's shorter and it has more entertaining bits than The Incredible Hulk does. There's something that doesn't allow me to put it any higher than second bottom, because it's bad.
Or I would probably watch Incredible Hulk over Swamp Thing or Elektra. I remember Incredible Hulk being bad, but I don't remember it being boring.
Oh, that's all we had to say about it. You got to re-listen to that episode,
refuse.
because you hated it even more than I did.
I refuse. I don't know. All these, like we say, the first third is good movies, the middle third is nothing movies, and the last third is just like, any of these can go in any spot on any date. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you like this, tell a friend. If you didn't, then lie to a friend. Check us out on Twitter at SoHowAbout. You can find me on Twitter at SethKumpf. You can find Andrew on Twitter at TessuDownist. And subscribe to us on YouTube at SoHowAbout.
And join us next time when we do this once more with Interference.
Watcher. Boop.
Seth, now that the mics are off, what are we watching next?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, because we're going to be...
Now that you've broken your headphones.
Yeah, I had a fit of rage. Elektra came in and she whispered in my ear and was like, I'm already broken. I broke once. We're going to be watching Miss Marvel.
No, Moon Knight.
Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to say what we're watching next, or what
Oh,
our
okay,
listeners
so
are
this...
listening?
Oh, this will go... No, you're right. Okay, my bad. I forgot that this isn't going
It's a
down.
lie.
It's all a lie. It's all...
A ruse. Smoke and mirrors.
It's all out of control.
If you're not in control, you're out of control. If you're not out of control, you're in control. If you can't say the line right, then just fucking stop. Yeah, next time we're going to be watching Moon Knight, but you're going to be listening to Miss Marvel. That's how it works.
That is how it works.